So when Ben and Anna decided to pick their hob and their sink for the camper van, they actually picked household units, which is fine. They look lovely, but posed a small problem for me in the fact that I thought I was going to be fitting camper van stuff, which is fine. So there are a few differences with our household tap and our household hob, but I'll run through those with you because it's actually easier than you think. So let's take a look at the sink because it's actually really good. So if I remove the cover that Ben's lovely made, that's a beautiful job, Ben. But this tap, I have to say, is pretty cool. Check this. Pretty powerful. Okay, so let me show you how I've done that. So if we start at the back here at our water source, as you can see, we've got our 70-litre Fiamma tank here. Originally, when we spoke to Ben and Anna, we were going to have something small like a 12-litre tank. Obviously, with that big tap, it's a no-go. So we've gone for 70 litres. We've got a Fiamma filler here. So if I take the cap out, you can put your hose in and it fills the tank. And the great thing is that it's obviously got a breather in this cap as well. So I don't have to have a separate breather on my tank. So there we go, we'll pop that back in. And as we follow down, you have to drill a hole into these tanks to allow the water to go in, and obviously then drill through these as well. This is our little clear bit of pipe that we've put on. This gives us an indication of our level. As you can see, that's our level there. Now, the tank itself comes on its own with fittings, and that is it. It doesn't have all the pipe work. So we have all the pipe work here at stock at Jess Campers as well. So this is a 40mm internal diameter reinforced pipe, which is perfect for our water feed inwards. And this is just a clear bit of 8mm pipe here. And then at the bottom, we've got our, this is quite high pressure hose actually, our water hose. This is 1/2 inch and obviously just clipped on with our Jubilee clips. Here is one of the outlets that comes with the tank. You get a 90-degree outlet or a straight one. You have to drill through the tank, and then there's a rubberized washer that fits on the inside, and you basically do the nut up. Then I've used our 1/2 inch high pressure water pipe with a Jubilee clip onto our fitting here, round to just an on-off tap here. And then this goes further forward down to our pump. So let's go and check the pump out. So I fitted the SureFlow pump round the back here, out the way, and it's on like rubber fittings, so it tries to eliminate some of the noise when it's actually pumping along. Now, that type of pump is like a pressure type of pump, and what that does is pressurize the whole system, and then when we open our tap, obviously then water flows. On like a normal type camper van pump setup, you'd have a micro switch in your tap, and as soon as you opened your tap, that micro switch would then turn the pump on. But this is done as I say, as a pressure setup. Also, in this line, we've got this Fiamma accumulator. Now, all that does is just smooth the water flow out of the tap, basically. Otherwise, it could be pulsating from the way that pump works. But with that fitted, it makes the tap flow really smoothly. Bin out the wastewater out of the way. Out it comes. Right, so the configuration we've got here, obviously, because it was a household tap, we had a hot and a cold inlet. Obviously, we're only running cold, so what I've done is just T-pieced off and run to both sides of that tap. So it doesn't matter what orientation the tap's in, it fires water out at any time. So the Fiamma accumulator is a real easy fit. It just fits literally in line between the pump and the tank. And it comes with like a right-angled fitting and a straight fitting. And these are already pre-pressurized, so this is the little valve, like a Schrader valve, car valve style. And these are pre-filled from factory, I think to about 9 to 13 psi, something like that. So you can adjust that if you wanted to change the flow of your rate of, well, depending on how big the tap is, I think. It does say you can adjust it, but I'm leaving that well alone because it works perfectly. And then the final path for our water is obviously through the sink waste into our waste water tank here. Now this is a real simple setup. This is what came with the sink actually, this sort of corrugated pipe. I've decided just to pop it straight into the top here. There's enough breathe around the top here for it to let the air out as the water goes in. And the great thing about it is obviously this has got a handle, so it's really easy to empty. Obviously that's a 25-litre waste, so it wouldn't fit all of our 70 litres of water in there. But the idea is you're possibly not going to put all your 70 litres down the sink. You might hang it out the door and wash your feet. That was, I think, Ben and Anna's idea. But the nice thing about it is it's only 25 litres, so you just empty it more regularly, that's all. But it's clear, so you can keep an eye on the level. Perfect, that works really well. So to make that work, all you need is that pressure type pump, so you've got constant pressure in your water system, the accumulator to make it smooth, a bit of pipe work, and obviously a reasonably sized tank. So that leads us to our hob. Now the hob that Ben chose was a 240 volt hob because he liked the look of it, fair enough. My side of it, obviously, I would have loved to have a 12 volt hob because that would have made my life a lot easier and we could have used the ignition side. So we opted to keep it simple and not use the 240 ignition because obviously I would have had to have put an inverter in just to literally run the hob ignition, which would have been a lot of money and we weren't going down that route. So keep it simple. They're just going to have to use a hob lighter. That's it. Now the gas side of it, obviously we still had to go from household gas to camper style gas. Now, so our camper van piping is actually 8mm and our household is what's called 1/2 inch BSP. So I had to get a special converter, a fitting that would bolt to our 1/2 inch BSP with an 8mm compression fitting. Simple, and that was done. And then I could run our 8mm pipe down to our gas locker and use our standard gas bottle. So this is our very own gas locker. It's completely airtight, obviously, so if there was a leak within inside this, it would stay in here and not come out into the van. Now, it's got a regulator inside and then into our 8mm compression fitting, and then our pipe runs all the way up here nice and neatly straight to our hob. And our 8mm compression fitting pipe fits along here to this fitting here. So this is our BSP to 8mm compression fitting. This is what you would need if you were converting a household hob into the camper van gas pipes. So that's our utilities finished. I've got a beautiful hob and a beautiful sink. Admittedly, it wasn't what I was expecting. So Ben, you got your wish. You've got your beautiful household stuff in here. Obviously gave me a little bit of a headache for a short period of time. As you can see, the camper is really taking shape now. I don't think it's going to be too long before we're going to be doing the total reveal, you know. Anyway, stay tuned. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.